today we're doing a super fun quarantine Disney recipe challenge. So there's a bunch of other channels that are participating in this as well. So we're all doing fun Disney recipes while in quarantine. So make sure you go check out everybody else's channels. They're linked down in the description below. And so today, Wally and I are gonna make some fun recipes from the Eat Like Walt book. And if you don't have this book and you're a Disney foodie, you're missing out because it's super awesome. It has amazing Disney history in it, all centered around food in the parks. So let's get started. I gotta know, when can we do this again? All right, Raleigh, are you ready to get started? Are you missing something? What are you missing? Yay! Now you're ready, huh? Oh, okay, let's get cooking, okay? All right, so in the very back of this book, there are some fun recipes of yesteryear. So we're gonna make some of those. And it's really cool. I just love all the pictures in here. Like this was a Better Homes and Gardens feature that they did on some of the food from Main Street in Disneyland. So we're actually gonna make a couple different recipes from the studio section of the book. So we're gonna start with the Macaroni Mickey Mousse, which was a recipe that was shared in the local newspaper. So that's pretty cool. And then we're also going to make the famous Tea Lounge tea cakes. This was a favorite at the studios from a local bakery, and we're gonna make some here at home. All right, so for our Macaroni Mickey Mousse, we need 1 cup of uncooked macaroni. Now it specifies that it should be broken into 2-inch pieces, and that's because back in the day, macaroni just meant noodles. So probably it was like a spaghetti noodle, but I actually have macaroni noodles. So I'm gonna use these, and this is our favorite gluten-free brand. It's the Tinkyada Pasta Joy, and they're so good. So we're gonna do that. We need 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm actually gonna use almond milk. And a cup of breadcrumbs. I was super excited. I found these gluten-free breadcrumbs at our local Kroger grocery store, so I'm excited to use those. We need 1 cup of butter, 1 pimento, aka a cherry pepper minced. So I actually got these nice whole pimento cherry peppers. I'm gonna mince that up. And then we need a tablespoon of chopped parsley, a tablespoon of chopped onion, 1.5 cups of grated cheese. We're actually gonna use this delicious Trader Joe's goat's milk cheddar cheese because Mark has a dairy allergy, but he can do goat's milk. And then we need a teaspoon of salt, a 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, a dash of paprika, and 3 eggs beaten. So I actually need to grab 1 more egg from my fridge. And that's gonna cook in a 325-degree oven for about 50 minutes. So let's get started.
All right, buddy, water's boiling.
Wally's getting the noodles in. Good job, buddy. All right, you wanna stir them up? Stir them up. Good job. Okay, not that much. Perfect, good job. Okay. All right, while I'm waiting for my pasta to boil, I'm just gonna grate up my cheese here. We need 1.5 cups of grated cheese. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it because you really can't ever have too much cheese. All right, well now I'm gonna grate up my parsley. And so this asks for a tablespoon of chopped parsley. And Mark actually got me this super cool herb mill a long time ago. And it works great because I'm not very good at like mincing things like this. So you just kind of pick the heads off and put it in here, and then it'll mill it up into a nicely minced state. Look at that, buddy.
What are you doing?
I'm mincing parsley.
Yeah.
What are you doing, David?
That is so much easier than doing it with a knife. Now I'm gonna slice up my pimento here, and it wants 1 pimento pepper.
Don't be supposed to be clean.
All right, time to chop my onion. We have these awesome preservers, so I've got half of a small onion left, which is about perfect. But of course I need my onion goggles.
Wait, you gotta get the ears in that.
Worst part about my onion goggles when I'm wearing my glasses is I can't really see very well. So it's a choice between crying for the rest of the night or potentially cutting off one of my fingers. This is the action and adventure portion of the vlog.
I be that.
All right, so my pasta's done. It's all washed. Now I'm gonna take the pasta pot and I'm supposed to scald milk in it. Because we're using almond milk, I don't exactly know that almond milk scalds the same way that regular milk does, and almond milk tastes really bitter if it gets burnt. So we're just gonna kind of get it to the point where it's like kind of steaming a little bit, and then we're gonna pour this over our breadcrumbs, add the rest of the ingredients, and get it ready for the oven. All right, so the directions call for everything to go into a loaf pan. I'm a little skeptical that this is all going to fit in here, but it says a loaf pan. Otherwise, a shallow casserole dish would make it drier. So we're gonna try and put it in a loaf pan, I guess. So I gotta grease this. I'm gonna put my noodles in the bottom, and then I'm gonna pour everything on top. All right, so there's my noodles. It seems like it's all gonna fit. We'll see. All right, we're gonna go with that. It's kind of steaming. It was getting a little bit of a scum on the top, so I don't know. I'm gonna call that scalded. So we're just gonna pour it over our breadcrumbs, and we're gonna add all the rest of our ingredients. So to mix this up well. And then we're gonna add in our eggs. Melted butter, our onion, and this is supposed to be a tablespoon of onion, and then
Some indeterminable quantity of pimentos.
one chopped small cherry pimento pepper. So we kind of like halved the whole pepper because that would be about cherry size. I don't know. It's not gonna hurt to have too much pepper in there. We got our pepper. Whew. And our cheese.
Oh, yes.
And that might be a lot of cheese. I don't know. All right, and our parsley, and the parsley is supposed to be a tablespoon too, so
That's about 2%.
whew. I'm gonna go with that being a tablespoon. And then it wants a teaspoon of salt and an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And I actually have a black pepper allergy, so we use white pepper, which is really yummy, I think, actually. Some pepper, and then it wants a dash of paprika, but we really like paprika, so.
Love paprika.
Okay, we're gonna stir this up,
Ooh.
and then I'm gonna pour it on top of the noodles, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for 50 minutes. That looks really good.
It does look really good.
I'm actually really excited about this. At first I wasn't so sure, but this looks really yummy. You know, this actually would be like kind of a really good Christmas meal.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this could be our new like Christmas appetizer. Okay, that looks pretty good. It smells really
I
good.
should say that smells really good.
Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Smell-o-vision. Can you guys smell it? Okay. All right, so I'm pouring it over
Here
my
we go.
macaroni. I hope this fits. I really hope this fits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's
shouldn't
like
grow.
I mean, it kind of looks like, you know, like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
All right, so there it is. This is gonna go in the oven for 50 minutes. And I like the recipe book because it also shows you some suggestions. So this is a suggestion from Walt. You can substitute the parsley for 2 teaspoons of finely chopped celery. That would not work for us because I have a celery allergy. And then he also says add 2 strips of finely chopped cooked bacon. And I'm wishing we had done that.
You should have seen that
I
before
know.
you did that.
So if we really enjoy this, I think we'll have to make it again with some bacon crumbled on top. All right, let's get it in the oven. All right, in the oven for 50 minutes at 325. All right, we're on to recipe number 2. We're making the famous Tea Lounge tea cakes. And these were a favorite at the studio, and they're famous from Martino's Bakery, which still exists out in the Southern California area. So what we need for this is we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, so we're doing gluten-free, of course. And then we need some baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of vegetable oil, so I'm gonna use some canola oil. 2 tablespoons of butter, and it needs to be at room temperature. A cup of golden brown sugar, a cup of white sugar, 2/3 cup of buttermilk. And so actually we're using almond milk, so I just added some lemon juice to the almond milk, and you let that sit for about 10 minutes, and then it gives it like the same consistency and flavor as the buttermilk. And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/8 a teaspoon or 2 to 3 drops of lemon extract. So I've got some lemon extract, and then 2 large eggs. So let's put it all together. All right, so we're getting our square pan line. So thankfully I had this nice square pan. I think I bought it to make brownies or something. And then it does say that you need to use white cupcake liners and not to grease them. So Wally's helping me get all of the white liners put in, and then I'm just kind of like squaring them out with my fingers. So that's where we're gonna put our batter so that they're really like the square tea cakes. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is mix in our dry ingredients, so our flour, our baking powder, and our salt into a small bowl. So you ready, Wally? You wanna pour it in there? Woo! All right, so now I'm gonna mix in my brown sugar, my white sugar, my oil, and my butter, and I'm gonna cream that up, and it's a cup, and 2 tablespoons. So let's get that going in here. All right, Wally, you wanna cream that up? There you go, perfect. And then put it on like a medium, a little bit higher. Perfect, so that went a minute on medium high. We're gonna scrape these sides, and then we're gonna go 1 more minute before we add the rest of our wet ingredients here. It's definitely buttermilked. It's kind of
Chunky.
yeah, like you can see where it's separated.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, it's because it's almond milk. So we're gonna add in 2/3 cup of our buttermilk. So if you're using just traditional buttermilk, you can do that. This is our almond milk and lemon juice mixture.
Pseudo buttermilk.
Make it buttermilky. And we're gonna add in a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're gonna add in 2 eggs. And a couple drops of lemon extract. So it's actually, it could be 1/8 of a teaspoon. Not yet, not yet. Or just a couple drops. I'm gonna try and just do a couple drops. Oh, I guess we're gonna call that a couple drops. Now we're gonna mix this up for another minute on medium. All right, so we just wanted that to combine. It's looking nice and sticky. And now we're gonna add in our dry ingredients, and then we're gonna mix it on low until it's combined. All right, so we did 1 minute on medium high. We're gonna scrape down the sides and go for 1 more minute. All right, so there it is. It's all mixed up. And so now we're going to spoon it into our square pan and stick it in the oven. All right, so it says to use an ice cream scoop or a 1/3 cup. We're gonna fill these up about 2/3 full. All right, so I've got my 12 lemon tea cakes, and I'm gonna put them in the oven, and they're gonna bake for 24 minutes at 350 degrees.
So you know what I've been invested with? Making the beverage. And because we have a lemon 40s inspired meal, we're gonna do a lemon drop martini. Of course, you know, make it with a little snow vodka. Our recipe calls for a little Cointreau. We'll use probably a little less than what the recipe calls for because we want more of that lemon and vodka flavor. And you know, this could be a quarantine fail. Cointreau is almost gone. And we'll throw in some simple syrup. Irene had some great fresh lemon juice that we'll use 1 ounce of, and we got some added lemon juice that we'll add for the rest of the ounce. Okay, so we're making 2 of these. 2 ounces of premium quality vodka. Again, we're using the Snow sugarcane vodka. 2 ounces, double that, we need 4 ounces. So here's 1.5. 1 3/4 ounce. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce, so we'll double that to 1. Yeah, this will be just fine. Just fine. All right. This is 1 ounce, the fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I'll finish it off with a little bit more lemon juice. Also known as flat sparkling lemonade. And 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. So again, we're going to double that. So we're going to do 1.5. Ooh. Next step is we need to sugar the rims. I have chilled martini glasses and we're just going to do a little sugared rim. I don't like to go all the way around with sugar. I just like to have one side, make it look like a little snowdrift. All right, so we've got the lid on the shaker. One key to this recipe is cold is the key. So you want to shake this for at least 40 seconds to make sure you get it very cold. That has the makings of a beautiful lemon drop martini. We're gonna try something new. One of the recipes I have calls for, making a little bit of snow to put on top. So I've got the magic bullet and we're gonna try to make some real finely chopped ice. Well, if I was looking for snow, that would be it. Let's just take a lovely little piece and put it right there in the top. A couple little pieces of snow over here. That is amazing. That's all you want, just some lovely little pieces of snow on your lemon drop martini. Cheers.
All right, so there is our Mickey Macaroni Mousse, and it's been cooling for about 15 minutes. You need to cool it for 10. And that says, woo, flip over. Wow. And then we'll cut it up. That looks so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, let's eat. All right, so I'm gonna just, I think I'm gonna just like cut a piece off here, kind of casserole style. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. I think we need like 2 helpings here. All right, first bite. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Too much cheese? You never have too much cheese.
It's so good. Okay. That's our new favorite recipe.
And try your beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mmm.
Isn't that good?
That's really good. And it complements this really well.
Does it? Oh, baby, I can't wait to dig in.
All right, so they're out of the oven. I have this problem where everything sinks in the middle. I think it's a combination of gluten-free baking at high elevation and baking soda that is probably or baking powder that is probably like 5 to 6 years old. So
Probably more elevation though.
Yeah, we're gonna blame that. So they've cooled for 5 minutes. I'm gonna pull them out here and put them on a pan, and then we're gonna make our glaze. And we'll be ready to dive into these. All right, so they're all out, they're cooling. Those are gonna cool for about 15 minutes, and while these are cooling, I'm gonna make my glaze. All right, so now we're gonna make our glaze to go on top while those are cooling. So we need powdered sugar, and I'm gonna half this recipe just because I'm low on powdered sugar. But normally you would do 2 cups of powdered sugar, and then 3 tablespoons of butter, and 4 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of golden brown sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 to 2 drops of yellow food coloring, and then we're gonna pour that over in wax paper, but like I said, I'm gonna half it. So, the first thing we have to do is sift our powdered sugar. I hate sifting. You wanna do it? Okay, squeeze
Any
it.
of you have a good way to sift, put that in the comments down below.
It's just so much work, and I feel like it gives me carpal tunnel. See, well, I did it 3 times and it's already over. Usually I make my dad do it because he has really strong hands.
Daddy, you don't do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
All right, so we've got our water, our butter, and our brown sugar, and we're just mixing that until it's all the way dissolved, and then we're gonna put in our vanilla and our food coloring. It's interesting that it uses brown sugar. It's not gonna be super yellow because of the brown sugar.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Oh. Yep, we're gonna whisk it up. All right, so there is our glaze. So we've got brown sugar, vanilla, water, butter. some yellow food coloring, and some sifted powdered sugar. And you don't want it to come to a boil, and it looks perfectly, like the thickness looks perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip my tea cakes in here, and then we'll set them on parchment paper to dry. All right, so now we're gonna dip our tea cakes in. Do you wanna dip them in there? Dip it down in there. Oh, that looks pretty good. We've got this like big hollow area in the middle, but maybe it'll kind of run down in there.
Actually, I probably will.
That's yummy.
It totally is running down.
Yeah, that worked out.
That works out.
All right, cheers, buddy. You've already dug in. Let's give it a try.
It's so good.
It's really good. It tastes a lot like a blondie. The gluten-free is hard. It's like really falling apart, but it's very good. It tastes really good. I don't know if maybe like after they cool overnight, it's a little better. But it's pretty yummy. All right, well this was super fun, and I'll link the link for this book on Amazon down in the description. But lots of fun recipes. I think that the Mickey Macaroni Mousse turned out super good. We both love that. And even with the gluten-free modification, it was great. These were super tasty, but just hard, I think, the consistency and some of the struggles with baking with elevation and gluten-free, but they still taste really good, and Wally's still really enjoying his. So this was a super, super fun collab to do. So just make sure you check out everybody's links down in the description down below, so you can check out all the other fun Disney recipes that people are sharing. So this was super fun to do while we've been in quarantine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the wonderful world of Walter, who has now moved on for the evening. He's going to retire with a snack for the night. We love you guys just the way you are. Bye.
Bye.